Welcome back for another video. In today's video we'll be looking at the top 100 greatest ever FPL managers, including their team selection, player ownership, transfer plans and more. I also connected with one of the managers who's answered some questions including the secret behind his success and more. If you enjoyed today's video, hit subscribe so you don't miss out on what the top 100 all-time managers are doing this season. If you'd like to become a YouTube member, a link's in the description which has some great perks. Enjoy the video. With the many millions of FPL managers, just barely 100 meet the criteria to join our list. The criteria to join this list is a minimum of 4 top 1k finishes or a minimum of 7 top 10k finishes. They are undisputably the greatest managers to have ever played the game, with a record to prove it. Their decision making, planning and understanding of the game is exceptional. We call them the Elite 100. That said, there's actually slightly more than 100, but to keep it simple, we'll mostly use percentages when going through their teams and moves. Let's start off with the Elite 100's team selections. By aggregating all of their teams together, we can arrive at a consensus team, which is a full squad of 15 players that they agree on having the most. One reasonable conclusion you could draw is that the higher percentage a player has, the more you should consider owning them. The Elite 100 template team is as follows. 3 changes to the team as Ruben Dias drops out of the defence and in comes Chilwell. A correct decision as Man City unexpectedly conceded 2 goals against Crystal Palace, and Chelsea went on to keep another clean sheet against Newcastle, whereby Chilwell started for the 4th consecutive game. In goal, Foster comes in and Ramsdale drops out. In hindsight, the wrong move as Ramsdale went on to keep his 4th clean sheet in 7 games, and made 8 saves plus picked up 2 bonus. We discussed in other videos how Arsenal are 2nd for XG conceded since Ramsdale came into the side, and he may well make his way back into the team in current form, and after 10 game weeks Watford still haven't kept a clean sheet all season. Gray drops out of midfield and Foden replaces him. Despite his great form, Man City weren't at their best, which was only exacerbated by Laporte's sending off. Salah remains at 100% ownership, and Trent's ownership has crept up from 66% to 82%. Heading into Gameweek 10, here's their transfer activity. An interesting spread of activity as a quarter of the Elite 100 rolled the transfer, and just under a half used free transfers. A significant portion of them took a hit, with 25% taking a -4, 3% took a -8, and a couple of managers took an extremely bold -12 hit. Before we take a look at their transfers, we caught up with Matt Corbidge from the Elite 100. There's a couple of managers in the Elite 100 who narrowly missed the criteria, but have a rank history that fully justifies their inclusion and provides us with more valuable data. James is one of those, and it's a great opportunity to get him on. His average rank is among the best in the entire game. In his entire career, his average rank is 8k, and over the last 6 seasons it's 5.6k, which includes 5 top 10k finishes. Premier Fantasy Tools currently has him 5th in the all-time leaderboard, and he's currently ranked 10k and well on his way to another great season. James's answers to this week's questions were brilliant and very comprehensive, so the full interview is available in the comments, which I recommend reading. The first question was, what's your secret to such a high average rank? He said, there's a couple of factors that I try to always follow. One is assemble the cheapest playing bench that you can, so funds can be invested in your 11 while having a bit of assurance from the bench. I've had Livramento from Gameweek 1 this year and got Duffy in Gameweek 3. Number 2 is definitely target fixtures when building your squad, other than for a couple of players and teams who can do well against anybody. Number 3 is try and make transfers and plans for the medium term. Try and look ahead for at least 5 weeks. Sometimes this approach means I miss out on short-term gains, but it at least means I'm always okay with my squad. Number 4 is ignore ownership when making moves. You should care about potential for FPL points and nothing else. Bringing in someone purely because of high ownership and playing with fear isn't great. Number 5 is use the chips to target blank and double game weeks. Goes without saying. Maximises the probability of points. I've had bad experiences, but I think it's the best approach. Number 6 is try to limit hits outside of blank and double game weeks and serious injury problems. Be comfortable using your bench to navigate issues. Duffy and Livramento have come through a few times for me this year already. Number 7 is try to be as level-headed as possible. Don't be reactive and make hasty decisions. It's natural to look back at the last game week and make decisions purely based on it. Cancel out the sound bites. I find it really works out. It's hard, but stay calm. And lastly, number 8 is definitely utilise the stats. For me, they're a second consideration behind a combination of fixtures and gut feeling, but I certainly spend time looking at the underlying stats to challenge or validate a view. They don't lie. The next question was, which players are top of your watch list? He said, in my opinion, there's not a huge pool of viable FPL options right now, and differences in scores are based on marginal calls. Looking forward, I like the look of Son from Gameweek 12, purely due to the fixtures and his own quality. He scored well despite Spurs being really poor. Arsenal are looking okay and have a nice run of fixtures. Smith Rowe has been scoring well and getting into decent positions. He's also at a great price point and that allows money to be spent elsewhere. He's an option if you're looking to free up funds. Longer term, I may be starting to make moves to accommodate a third Liverpool attacker and at least one Man United attacker. Jota and Ronaldo being the main considerations. And the final question was, what's your best FPL memory? He said there's lots. There's a few early examples when I started FPL where I went against the crowd and it helped me get hooked into the game. I had no idea how to play FPL my first season. The turning point was being super early on Harry Kane. I remember seeing a 4.8 price Kane looking pretty great for Spurs in the Europa League, so I took a punt on him due to lack of other options. I think he scored the next game and the rest was history. In my second season I started to learn more about double game weeks and how powerful they could be. I picked Charlie Austin at QPR as my captain for the double despite his low ownership and was rewarded with a cool 32 points. Thanks again to Matt for taking the time to come on this week's episode. The full interview is in the comments and makes for great reading. A quick look at the chip usage among the Elite 100 next. 7% of them activated their wildcard for Gameweek 10, which means a very patient 8% have the chip remaining. The first wildcard lasts until Gameweek 20, after which point we get a second one. So it's actually interesting that we're only halfway to getting our second one, but 92% of the Elite 100 have used theirs. 1% of the Elite 100 activated their free hit in Gameweek 10, which is unusual and uncommon at this early point in the season. In Matt's interview, he himself alluded to the fact that it's best saved for a blank or double game week. Elsewhere, no triple captain chips used yet, and the bench boost remains 99% unused. Onto the Elite 100's transfers. Last week's episode was completely dominated by Lukaku's injury in the transfer activity. This game week a wider spread of moves. This week's episode just goes to show how the very best of the best still make mistakes, as the top 3 players sold all returned in Game Week 10, which was Benrahma, Ronaldo and Armstrong. All 3 were logical players to move on, and FPL's unpredictable nature punishing them. Chilwell appears 4 times in the most popular transfers, Foden appears 3 times and Tony twice. We'll finish by looking at how the Elite 100 managers are ranking currently. Their ranks are categorised into 5 areas: top 10k, top 100k, top 500k, top 1 mil and outside top 1 mil. The breakdown is as follows. Heading in the right direction, last week 1.8% were in the top 10k, while there's now twice as many with 3.6% there. The top 100k's remained exactly the same at 20.8%, however a reduction to the top 500k and outside top 1 mil. All in all, a positive game week from the Elite 100. That concludes this video on the Elite 100. We'll be following them closely throughout the season. Thank you again to Matt for taking the time to answer the questions. Likewise, thank you for watching today's video. If you enjoyed it, please remember to like the video and hit subscribe to support the channel. I read every comment, so let me know if you liked the video and what you thought of the Elite 100's team.